Divi 5 is coming, and I have a special treat in this layout pack for you, which is an Image Hotspot Layout Pack using nothing but Divi 5, custom attributes, interactions, nested modules, groups, you name it, it's in this layout. And check out this thing of beauty using no additional plugins, free for you from the team here at Divi Engine, and that's me, Roby, with the Divi Engine team. So why don't we get into how this layout works right now? And don't forget to like and subscribe, comment on the video, and check out our Black Friday sale that is happening right now. And with that, let's rock and roll. So as usual, we're going to be starting here in the back end of our Divi 5 site, and I have what is already imported, the Divi Engine Image Hotspot for Divi 5 layout, which you can download at the link in the description of this video. So I'm not going to waste time on showing you that. I did want to highlight one thing, which I think this is a bug with Divi 5 in the way that it's exporting layouts. And it's that button styles and some of the styles don't show up very nicely in your imported template in the library itself. And I've noticed that a lot of times when I'm doing different things. So just be aware of that. They're probably working on a fix for that. As we know, Divi 5 is beta software. So we are going to have some issues. Okay, I'm going to start out by just adding a brand new page and just giving it a title, which is just going to be Hotspot Demo, whatever. And use the Divi builder, of course. And just so you know, I'm on Divi 5 beta 2.2, so, or 1.2, something like that. I'll double check that for you guys. Okay, so here's create your page. I'm going to build from scratch. I'm going to add a row. Now, this layout imports as a row. So I'm going to go here to add from library, and I'm going to select my row here, and it will pop on in. And there we go. And here you can see that the button's perfectly styled. If you go in the sidebar here and open all, I like the layer view, as you know. You can see everything has been nicely named for you and labeled for you so that you know exactly how to go extend this and use your own stuff and make it look awesome. Let's just first publish this to make sure that it's working correctly on the front end. So I'm going to go here to a new tab, and here we can see I've got this one's working. So that one is working well. That one's working well. And you'll notice that we've got a few different positions here for you that I've baked into this layout for you. And just a quick overview, we use attributes, we use interactions, we use nested modules, we use nested layouts, all sorts of different stuff in this layout pack. So this would not have been easily done without Divi 5. So that is amazingness. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to the back end here. And now I quickly want to run you through the different options that we have here. Now, if you're curious, you can go find all the CSS that we use here on the hotspot container, because this is where our image lives. So this image here, you can replace with any other image that you want to use a hotspot for. But if you go to the advanced tab, you're going to see in the CSS, it's got all this fun CSS code here. And this is how you can go really fine-tune stuff. But the basics are the basics. And all you need to know is that you're at the very top. I'll make that smaller. We've got the general settings. So you can go and set the gap between the tooltip and the area here. So the trigger and that space. There's a safe bridge, which is just basically enabling you to go from the actual tooltip trigger to the actual tooltip content. And then the animation duration is just going to be the speeds and the pulse effect. This you might want to change because this pulse effect color will change based on what you set there. So if you want to use black or red or orange or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. And then lastly is just the layering. You don't need to worry about that as much. You probably won't need to use that. But if you run into issues with certain things not layering correctly, you're going to want to go and play with these values right here. Other than that, I wouldn't really venture to say you need to do anything. So as you can tell here, we've got three different ways that these tooltips get revealed. We've got the fade in, we've got the grow, and then we've got a slide up. So three different ways that you can go ahead and do that. And then of course, we've got 4 positions. We've got bottom, left, right, and then top that I'm not showing here, but we're going to go add top right now. Cool. So let's go back here And the easiest way I would say for you to go and utilize this is to work with these hotspot groups, right? So each hotspot group is one of these dots on your screen there. So I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this one. And I'm going to just, for my own sanity, just name it hotspot 4. And then we are going to go ahead and move it around. So how do we move it around? You go into the position of the advanced tab of the actual group of everything that's together here. And I'm going to move it over here to this darker box right there. So all you do is slide the slider on over. You see that? How easy that is? Now, I like to just get a little bit more specific by using the actual arrows for up and down. And you can see how the vertical and the horizontal affect it. So I'm going to put it nice smack dab in the middle of this. There we go. And there we have it. Okay, so that was pretty simple, right? So that is very easy to go ahead and do that. Now, when you expand this, you can go ahead and work on the content. Now, the way that you edit, the way that it enters the screen, so the animation that happens is you're going to do that on the actual content module here, which is, this is again just a text module. And inside that text module, I've placed a button module. On the text module, to do this, I can go here to the attributes, and you can see here how it says animation. That is a custom attribute that we have. Now, you don't really need to worry about anything other than this attribute value. So you've got 3 values. You've got grow, fade, and slide. It's pretty simple. If I wanted to make this slide, I can go ahead and call it slide. And now you'll see that it slides in instead of grows. Very easy to do. And then the next one, you want to position it, right? So you will see if I click here on the actual group, this is going to group all these elements together in a certain position. And you see that I've added an attribute called position there for you. All you got to do is then say, let's say top. And if I go out of here, now it appears at the top. How awesome is that? Divi 5 makes things so easy to do, and it really enables you to do these really super advanced things and set things up for your clients to make things easy to use. I love it so much. And really, that's that. Now, if you wanted to edit the content, you can just go here to the text, and you can go and change the content if you'd like. I embedded a button on the inside of this layout, so you can go add a button. You can go nest anything else that you want in there, because of course with Divi 5 you can nest modules, you can nest columns and flex rows and all sorts of different things, just as simple as that. So I'm going to save this really quickly and just jump on the front end and refresh to show you that this is working. And why is it not working? Well, there's another quirk with this one, and I think this is still a Divi 5 bug that they're working out. Let me show you how we fix this. We go back to the back end here. And if we go and select our trigger, which is, of course, this icon right here, but we're actually going to go ahead and select the entire group. If we go to advanced and interactions, you'll see that the interactions to show the tooltip, so that content that shows up, is living on top of the group. If I go in here, we can already see everything that's happening here. But here's the issue. The target group gets lost. For some reason. I'm not sure why, but I think this is a bug. You need to go and move it from the hotspot group to the tooltip group. Now you can see I forgot to rename this one tooltip group 4. That's how you keep your sanity. You give it a descriptive name, but I already know that's what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then also on the hide tooltip, you need to go do the exact same thing. So the target module needs to change to the tooltip group. And if I save this now, and I get on to the front end again. Now when I hover it, it shows up just as we expected, and they all act independently. And I want to show you another thing here, that if I go, and I need to remember exactly how to do this. I'm a newbie with Firefox, but yeah, the responsive design mode. And yeah, okay, so I can select here, and let's just say I'm using iPhone. You can see that the spots are still exactly where they need to be. The hover effect in this design mode doesn't work, but of course, this is not necessarily something you want to do on mobile. The main reason I want to illustrate this is so that you can see that these positions will stay the same on different screen sizes. So that's another interesting little tidbit of this particular layout. It uses percentages for the positioning, and that way it's always going to be relative to the container, which is the image. So that is how easy it is to use this layout. You can go ahead and customize it any way you want. You can go change the image, and I can show you how I do that just by going to the image, and I can pick this one, for example, and you can see that those hotspots stay in place. So, if you change out the image, you're just going to have to adjust your hotspots again to the spots where you want it to be. And then, of course, just copy and adjust these little hotspot groups. And that's how simple it is. Divi 5 is awesome. So I really enjoyed making this, and I hope you enjoy using it. How awesome is that layout? And amazing that it was just done with Divi 5, custom attributes, and the interactions, and all these different things that are coming in Divi 5. Sure, we ran into a few bugs, but that's okay. Divi 5 is still evolving and changing every single day. That's why developers like us here at Divi Engine love Divi 5, as we are busy rebuilding all of our plugins to be native Divi 5 plugins. We already have Divi Loop Extender, native Divi 5. We've got Divi Ajax Filter, native for Divi 5. So definitely check us out and check the link in the description. The layout is, of course, also available at the link in the description. So definitely hope to see you guys using this, and let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment, and engage with us. It's been fun having you with us for this video. I hope you watch the next one and check us out. This has been Roby for the Divi Engine team. Bye for now.